Hello, Youth Center students, and welcome to our first cooking class of the summer. As you know, I'm Connor, and today I'll be showing you how to boil sweet potatoes. So, before we get started with that though, I want to go over like a few kitchen safety and guidelines. So first off, remember, safety is always the most important thing. So if you're doing something and you're like not entirely sure if it's safe or not, stop and ask your parent or guardian. If you're also, if you're watching this video like ahead of time, um, then you can email me. So that kind of leads into the next point, which is whenever you're cooking and following a recipe, make sure that you watch the video or read the recipe beforehand. That way you'll know if you have all of the ingredients, and as well as like the utensils and like the pots and pans and everything. Next, only cook when your parent or guardian is home, so that in case you need help, they're there and can help you. And then lastly, on a similar note, make sure that you just give your parent or guardian a heads up before you begin cooking, again, so that they're aware and they're ready to help you if you need it. So to summarize, safety is our number one priority. Um, Always read the full recipe or watch the video before you start cooking. Cook when your parent or guardian is home, and give them a heads up. So you can expect to spend between 30 and 45 minutes from start to finish. And as far as what you will need, depending on your level of cooking experience, you may need help from an adult, especially with the stove. Uh, and now I'll show you the rest of what you'll need. You'll need potatoes. I'll be cooking sweet potatoes, but you can also use any kind of potato. A pot and lid. This one here is probably a good size for about like 3 to 6 like medium to large potatoes. But you can also use a smaller pot if you're cooking fewer potatoes. So this is probably a good size for about 2. A utensil for taking potatoes out of hot water. A slotted spoon or tongs would both work well. A fork. And a vegetable brush if you have one. If you don't, it will be okay, but you may want to consider buying one. You can find them at Target. Some kind of potato peeler if you choose to peel your potatoes. If you need to remove bad spots from your potatoes, you will want a peeler with a part like this here. And lastly, whatever toppings or other food that you'd like to eat your potato with. So anytime that we're working in the kitchen, our first step is always to wash our hands with soap and warm water. And so you'll need to decide how many potatoes you're gonna boil. So you know, for yourself, for one meal, maybe you want 1 or 2 potatoes. But maybe if you're cooking for your family, you'll cook 5 or 6, or if you want to have leftovers. Please just be aware that the more potatoes, the longer it will take you to cook them. So any spots like this, you can just brush these off with your hand. If you have a vegetable brush, use it for this next part. I need to wash my potatoes. So they could have a lot of dirt on them. Um, so really just try, to wash it as well as you can, and just like really scrub and kind of take a good close look at it um, to make sure that you're getting all of the dirt off. So it's up to you if you would like to peel your potatoes or not. I'll show you how to if you want to peel them. If you're not going to peel your potatoes, then you can just fast forward this video to 9 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. So first make sure that you clean your potato. And then use a clean kitchen towel and clean to dry your potato. You want to ask your parent or guardian to chop the ends of the potato off. So while you're using the potato peeler, just make sure that you're being very careful with the blade, which is this part here. It's very sharp. Hold the top, and we're going to peel the bottom half. And once you've finished one half, flip the potato upside down and peel the other half. Scraps, these can go into your compost bin if you have one. So as you're cleaning your potatoes, you also want to be checking for bad spots. So next week we'll be learning knife safety, but for this week I'll show you how to take care of small bad spots. If you come across a large bad spot, where a big portion of the potato needs to be taken out, please ask your parent to help you with that. This photo shows a sweet potato that's at least partly rotten. This is a good example of when you would want to ask for parent or guardian help. But you can see here there's a few spots that look like they might be rotten, like right here and here. So this potato has a bad spot right here. You can see it's like a darker brown and it feels squishy. So I'm going to use the potato peeler to take that out. Kind of just press in to the potato and then turn and scoop out the bad parts. So you want to get all the brown parts out. You want it to just be white or orange for sweet potatoes. After you've taken out all the bad parts, just give your potatoes another quick rinse. So as I finish washing each potato, then I'm just setting it right here into the pot. Once all of our potatoes have been cleaned and are in the pot, fill our pot part of the way with cold water. So you want to fill it up till the water is about 1 inch over the potatoes. And the potatoes will float, so it's okay if they're not submerged fully, but if you you can kind of see that's enough water. You may need to ask for your parents' help with this next part. Now I'm gonna carefully lift my pot up out of the sink and move it over to the stovetop. You might also need to ask for your parents' help with this next part, which is turning the stove on. The stove shown is electric, but if yours is gas, it will work a little bit differently. If this is your first time turning the stove on, you should definitely ask your parent or guardian for help. So we need to turn the burner on, and we're going to set it at high. And so now we wait for the water to come to a boil. So make sure that as you're waiting, you stay close by the stovetop, because we are using heat. Alright, so now the water has come to a boil. Now we're just going to leave the potatoes on the stovetop for another 10 to 25 minutes. That depends on the how many potatoes and how big they are. Again, please make sure that you stand close by the stove. Alright, so about 15 minutes has passed now, so it's time for us to check on our potatoes. So how we're going to do that is we're going to use our hot pads to take the lid off, and when you take the lid off, be careful that don't stand like this. Stand like this away from the pot, so don't put your head over it. Stand away from it. The reason being is you might have just seen there's a bunch of steam that's gonna come out when you take that lid off, and so you could get burned by the steam. So to check these potatoes, we're gonna use just a regular old fork, and we'll poke into the potato with the fork to see how easily the fork goes through. So you want the fork to kind of go through pretty easily. You don't want to have to, like, if you can't really push the fork through, and you gotta really work hard at it, then the potato needs more time to cook. So these two are finished. Now I'm gonna check this third one, and that one was pretty hard for me to poke into. So this one here needs some more time, most likely because it is so big. So my 2 potatoes are out and my 1 is still cooking. And I'll check that other potato in a few minutes. So a few minutes has passed. It's time for me to check. Again, use the hot pads and standing back from the pot. And using the fork, it feels like this potato is now done cooking as well. So first I'm gonna turn the heat off. Take the last potato out. And make sure you ask your parent or guardian to pour the water from the pot down the kitchen sink drain. So here's one of my boiled potatoes. I overcooked mine a little, so maybe yours will look a little bit different from this. Okay, so that's it. Now it's just like up to you, however you want to like top yours. So maybe some butter and salt and pepper, or some sour cream. I'll show you now just one way that I like to eat my potatoes. So first off, I'm just gonna add some regular black pepper. It's Goya adobo. It's kind of salty. And lastly, some walnuts. Kind of add a nice crunch and some protein too. So I also added some kale and tomatoes, because it's really important to make sure you eat your vegetables. Just make sure that you wash them both. And just in case you were curious to know, the potato and kale and tomato all came from the farmer's market. Alright, Youth Center students, that's all for this week's cooking class. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, please email me if you have any questions. Also, this is completely optional, but we would really love to see things that you have cooked or to hear about it. So there's a couple of ways that you can share with us if you would like to. You can send photos of things you've cooked to Gabrielle, or you can post a comment or a photo on the Middleton Youth Center Facebook page or Google Classroom page. Lastly, please keep an eye out for the cooking survey. It has not been posted yet, but will be sometime this next week, and it's an opportunity for you to let us know what kinds of food you like and what your cooking experience level is, so that we can make better videos. Thanks, y'all. See you next week.